27th of April, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos. Love.
Right. Thank you, Lou. As we mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Shivat Salmanavshi here in Yerushalayim, here of Zoom. We're learning Pirkei Avos, the first pair. Kol davar shetol b'dara batal davar. Kol avos she'ena tali b'davar eno batal le'olam. So we are now in our paragraph.
I think we're on 9.
Let's see. Well,
We have done 10. I've got notes on 10.
yeah, we did 10 yesterday. You missed out yesterday, Lou.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, right. So now we're right. We've done 10. We're by 11 now. Okay. So good. I guess we can begin with that. Let's see. Lou, you'd like to
Sorry.
Okay, should I read 11?
yeah, if you like.
Lefi shelo haya bilvo.
Belibo in his heart.
Oh, belibo. Tachlis acharas rak acheres rak la'asos ritzon Hashem yisbarach ha'ahov. Let's see, because that it's not in his heart the purpose, a different purpose, only to do the will of Hashem. May he be blessed by loving.
Well, like this is a reference to Avram Avinu, right? The previous paragraph was discussing the love that Kadosh Baruch Hu had for Avram Avinu, and the love that Avram Avinu had for Kadosh Baruch Hu. So the fi shelo yebelibo tachlis acheres lakro sos rotzon Hashem yisbarach ohov, that since Avram Avinu had no other purpose in his heart except to do the ratzon, the will of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, ohov, that made him beloved. That made Avram Avinu beloved.
Oh, Hashem loved him.
Yeah, well, that we were discussing yesterday. When there's a pasuk in Yeshaya that mentions that the pasuk. I'll read it to you. We were discussing this yesterday because in
41:8, wasn't it?
right, we found it right in Yeshaya 41, pasuk 8, and Roy, you found the art scroll, right?
Yeah, just I've got the Tanakh here, so I've got to find it.
Yeah, very good. Let's read it again. That was very good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting mixed up with my wires. Yeah. Sorry. So we want Yeshayahu, page 954. All right, and it was what Pasuk, chapter 41, chapter 29, 30, 46. That's in between there. Right, 41, almost there. 41. Here we are. 41 what?
1:8.
8. Okay. Yeshayahu. Oh no, Yeshia. Yeah, Isaiah 41:8. But you, O Israel, my servant, Yaakov, you whom I have chosen, offspring of Abraham who loved me.
Who loved me? Abraham who loved me. Oavai. Oavai. Abraham Oavai. Abraham who loved me. So that's what's being explained over here in this first line in paragraph 11. The fish lawyer beliebo, meaning since there was nothing in the heart of Abraham Avinu, there was any other purpose. Rak, the only thing that he had in his heart, Rak lasos ritzon Hashem Yisborach, only to do the will of Kadosh Baruch Hu, who he loved, who Abraham Avinu loved, right? So since Abraham Avinu had no other purpose in his heart except to do the will of Hashem, and that was because of his love, Abraham Avinu's love for Kadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore the pasuk says, Abraham Oavai, Abraham who loved me.
Below Haisa.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Well, this sort of matches up with the higher motive of love. The love with doing, but the love does. You're doing something for somebody. In this case, something for Hashem, and that inspires the love. So, if you do things for people, that's the what do you call it? Definition, one of the definitions of love.
That's right.
We had a few definitions. We had a few a few ideas of what is love. And I think we had three or four.
Right. Yeah. This is the highest level. The highest level is when there's no motivation. It's not totally bedover that you're doing, that the love that you have for, let's say, a person is not dependent on anything external to that person. You're doing it simply because you wish to benefit that person, right? That's the motivation you have, is you want to benefit that person. So the prime example here is of Avraham Avinu, that he simply wanted to do the will of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and that was a demonstration of his love for Kadosh Baruch Hu.
So because Abraham only wanted to do Ratzon Hashem, therefore Abraham loved Hashem.
Yeah, well, the cause of him wanting to do the Ratzon of Hashem was because of his love for Hashem. The cause of the fact was the love, and the expression was wanting to do Hashem's Ratzon.
So why does it say because?
Where's the because?
Lefi.
Oh, because that's what he's. Oh, it says because he's explaining the pasuk. The last line in the previous paragraph was a cause of Abraham Oavai. Abraham was the one who loved me, right?
Right.
He loved me. Since that there was what was the proof? What was the proof of Abraham's love? The proof of Abraham's love was he had no other intention in mind in serving a Kadosh Baruch Hu except to fulfill his will, fulfill the Ratzon of Hashem. That was the demonstration of Avraham Avinu's love for Kadosh Baruch Hu.
So in other words, we're saying is because Abraham only wanted to do the will of Hashem,
this engendered the love of Hashem.
we see that he loved him.
Right, yeah, that was the manifestation. The fact that he was doing the will of Hashem, that was the manifestation of Abraham's love. Right, exactly.
But that's not what it says. It doesn't say something like therefore he loved him. Or
No,
therefore
the
he loved him.
the explanation of the puzzle, Abraham Oavai, Abraham who loved me, the fee Shayelo Belibo Tachlis Acheres, his love for Kadosh Baruch Hu was that level, because again the level of love that he's discussing here is the highest level, where there's no ulterior motive in the love that you have for the person that you love. So it's simply that you love the person simply because of who they are, right? So because of what the Kadosh Baruch Hu is, Avram Avinu loved the Kadosh Baruch Hu because of what Kadosh Baruch Hu is in essence, and therefore that the expression of love is through the fulfilling of his ratzon.
We're saying that that whatever it says here, whatever words are here, the words mean what we've just explained.
Okay, Biker.
Yeah. Okay.
V'lo haisa shem siba acheres tachriach oso al kach. Okay, so and it's not shame. What's shame siba?
There was not any sham. There was not there any other siba, any other cause.
There was not any other cause over there. What is tachriach?
Necessary cause. There's no necessary cause. There was no necessary cause. As he's going to explain, he's going to discuss about the Akeda now. We'll see soon.
Oso al kach. Al kach means what? At all?
Well, on this, I mean, on doing the ratzon of Hashem, right? On doing the ratzon of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, there was nothing forcing, in this case, Avram Avinu, to fulfill the ratzon of a Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay, so there wasn't any other cause necessary to bring this about.
To fulfill the ratzon of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, there was no preceding cause in what was. Meaning, let's put it this way: there was nothing forcing Avram Avinu to do the ratzon of a Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay, there's nothing forcing him.
Right.
Sheharei lo nis arav b'pa'al ha'akeda shum tzad ha'kriach hechrech klal hi afilu mitzvos Hashem Yisbarach.
See you soon.
Have a good day, Judy. Lo haisa mikrachas oso. So Shahare, that behold, lo nit arev he was not responsible.
There was no hitarev, meaning there was nothing mixed in. There was nothing. There was no other other factor. There was no other factor.
Like an erev. There was nothing mixed in. What's Paal?
Bipal ha'akeda in the like the event of the Akeda.
In the event of the Akeda, except the aspect of thankfulness.
Harilonis are Bipolar Akeda Shum Tzad Hechrach Klal.
Oh, hechrach. What's hechrach?
Necessity. There was no in the event of the Akeda, there was nothing of absolute necessity mixed in to the event of the Akeda.
Reason, could you use the word reason?
Yeah.
Brazen?
No, reason instead of cause.
Reason. There was no reason at all. Because even the commandment of Hashem, may be blessed, was not Michrachas, was not necessary for him.
Right, meaning Hashem's command wasn't out of necessity. Meaning these things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tested with Avraham Avinu, they weren't necessities. He wasn't doing these things out of obligations. He was doing these out of his own free will.
Abraham did the Akeda out of his own free will.
Right. Let's say he didn't listen to HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have gotten punished for it. Be no punishment. He wouldn't have had the advantages and all the blessings that came from the Akeda, but he would have been punished for it.
Well, if Hashem gives you a direct command and you don't do that, isn't that an Avera?
Well, if you look at the Akeda, it says what was the statement that the Malach made to Avraham. He says, now I see that you're Yireh Elokim, you fear Hashem.
Right.
So this was a proof of Avraham fear, respect. I mean, he's not talking about the fear that a person has because of punishment. He's talking about his respect, his awe, his caring for Kadosh Baruch Hu. That, as I explained, Avraham had such a relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? That he did the will of the Kadosh Baruch Hu because he valued the relationship that he had with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? But it wasn't because he was being commanded with the threat of punishment if he didn't fulfill the command.
Right. V'zeh davar ba'aruhu riboseno zal al pasuk hey yireh v'gomer. And this is the thing. What is Baruhu?
That is what that they teach. Rabbi saying, I mean, this is what Chazal are teaching.
This is the thing that they're teaching. Hazal is Hazal.
Yes.
In Pasuk Hey, Yireh is we see.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure exactly which pasuk he's referring to. I have to look it up. Let's just leave it for now until I don't have the access to finding that pasuk. But that's the reference he's making. He's going to explain to what Chazal say about this.
Amar Avraham Lifnei Hakadosh Baruch Hu Ribono Shel Olam Galui V'Yedua Lefanich
Lefanecha.
Lefanecha Shebasha She'amras Li Kach Na Es Bincha Es Yechidcha Asher Avos Es Yitzchak V'Ha'alahu Li Le'olah. So Avram said before Hashem, Master of the universe, it's revealed and known before you, Shebasha, I don't know.
Shebasha at the time. Shebasha at the time.
At the time that you said to me, take, please, your son, your only son that you love, Yitzchak, and bring him up to me forever.
No, here.
No. As an offering, as a burnt offering.
Right.
So that's a quote from Bereshis.
That's right.
Okay, so this sentence is just quoting to us. Abraham said to Hashem, Master of the universe, is revealed and known at the time that you said to me that I should bring up Yitzchak for an offering. Okay, so we're in the middle of a thought. Hayisi Yachol Lomar V'halo Kavar Amras Li Ki B'Yitzchak Yikra Lecha Zera, and that's from Bereshis also. So Hayisi, I was able.
Yeah, I would have been able, Lomer, to say, I would have been able to say.
I would have been able to say, is it not already stated to me, since with Yitzchak, you called to me, he called to you, he was called by you, my offspring.
Right, me, Avram Avinu said to Kadosh Baruch Hu, is it not true that at the time when you told me to take Yitzchak up as the oiler, I could have said, have you not already told me that Yitzchak is going to be my offspring?
Oh.
So Avram Avinu had the opportunity to, so to speak, contradict the Kadosh Baruch Hu and hold him to his promise. It was if Hashem had already made a promise to Avram Avinu that Yitzchak was going to be his offspring. So Avram Avinu had the opportunity to hold Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, to his original promise.
So he's saying, at the time that you commanded me to bring up Yitzhak, I would have been able to say, didn't you tell me Yitzhak is going to be my offspring?
Right. That's right.
Velo amarti kach. I didn't.
Cain. I think that's Cain. Lo Marty Cain.
Cain. I didn't say that.
Right. I didn't say so.
Aval vashti rechami velo ti achar midosich.
Midosecha.
Midosecha. Okay, but I'm sorry. I didn't say that, but what is this kavashti?
Like kavashti is to like literally to conquer or to quench or to quell.
But I conquered my mercy, and I did not. I
didn't think after. I didn't think after your
midos.
Well, that's the word, but midos, it means your 1 second, not behavior.
I didn't question your decision.
Well, yeah, it doesn't mean that's not the literal translation. I mean your manner of dealing with me. I didn't question your manner of dealing with me.
Right. I didn't say, Hashem, you're contradicting yourself.
Right. You've already promised me this. Why, he had the opportunity. He could have done it. He could have done it. He could have been value. He could have been valid to do it even, but he didn't. That's what it means. He was kavashti rachim. He quelled his mercy for his son, right? If he cared about, meaning, no, I can't say that. He cared about Yitzchak more than anybody else in the world. But had he had he wanted, he would have had the opportunity to save Yitzchak, if he wanted to express his mercies to Kadosh Baruch Hu for Yitzchak by engaging in a debate over the Hashem's request to bring him up as an oiler.
So Hashem said, I did not say so, full stop. And Abraham said, I conquered my mercy. Or was it Hashem? No.
Or Lo Amarti Kana. I mean, this is Avraham Avinu speaking. Avraham says, I didn't say this, right? Meaning, I could have. I could have said, have you not already said to me, that I did you not already tell me that Yitzchak would be called my offspring, right? Meaning that he's going to carry on the legacy, and he's going to carry it on through generations, right? Well, Omarti I didn't say that. I will kavashti rachemi, rather I quelled or conquered my mercy for my son Yitzchak. I didn't think twice. I didn't question your behavior, your mannerisms towards dealing with it.
And yet, it seems to be different from what we see Abraham doing in the incident of Sodom. When Abraham does question Hashem, he says, shall the judge of the world not act justly?
Right. So
what's the difference?
Well, I would, my first attempt to answer your question would be as follows: that when it came to Sodom, I mean, Abraham wasn't involved with the what was going on with Sodom. It was as a matter of fact, the pasuk says that Abraham, Hakadosh Baruch says, how can I not inform Abraham Avinu about what I'm going to do here? Meaning, really, Hakadosh Baruch had made his decision about Sodom, and as the Gemara mentions that Sodom was established 52 years beforehand, and Hakadosh Baruch was sending earthquakes each and every day to Sodom in order that they should hopefully do tshuva, right? So Hashem was actively and busily trying to have the population of Sodom do tshuva, but finally all else failed, and they weren't able, in Hashem's eyes, to do tshuva. But nevertheless, before destroying them, Kadosh Baruch Hu said that I can't hide this from Avram Avinu. So he informed Avram Avinu of what was going to occur. There was no contradiction between Avram Avinu's any self-interests and his engaging Kadosh Baruch Hu in the so to speak, a plea to save Sodom. Meaning, here you could have said, well, why didn't Avinu try and make a plea for the sake of Yitzchak? Why didn't he try and save his son Yitzchak? He's tried to save Sodom, right? So here, the test was given to Avram Avinu. There was no test. I'm not sure. Sodom is not included in the tests of Avram Avinu. He did that simply because of that was his as a tzaddik hadur. He was supposed to be Megan and Matzu is supposed to guard over the generation that he lived in, and just as Noah, he was able to save himself, his family, and the remnant of humanity in the world that existed, because he was the tzaddik of the generation. So, Avram Avinu also, being the tzaddik of the generation, he was obligated to try and save the people of Sodom. Right? But that was different in Yekeda. Yekeda, Avram Avinu didn't engage Kadosh Baruch Hu in any plea for for the life of Yitzchak, because he was being tested here. And his test was to either listen to HaKadosh Baruch Hu or to try and save his son. But there was no test in Sodom that was similar to this test of the Akedah in terms of his relationship with Yitzchak. Clear?
How does Abraham know that Hashem is not testing him to see if he will, in fact, argue? I mean, we know that Hashem says to Moshe, stand aside and I'll wipe them out. Because Hashem wanted Moshe to argue. So how do we know here Hashem doesn't want Abraham to argue?
And probably it's the way that Abraham felt inside himself. It's like sometimes that you're when you're with somebody and you're having an argument, that you know there's some things that you ultimately shouldn't say to that person, or that you should behave this way or behave that way, or do this or do that, without being told anything. This is what you feel. You may not understand that yourself. This is the reason, but that's So Abraham felt that he should proceed in this particular way with regards to the Akedah, or with regards to Sodom. He felt he had the with regards to Sodom, he felt he had the right or the way to, he was able to, had the permission to argue, to question.
By Sodom, you're referring to, right?
Yes, he felt that.
And see, by Yitzchak. So what would be the motivation for Avram Avinu to argue on behalf of Yitzchak?
There's a big difference actually between the both situations, in that Yitzchak was his son and it was within the family. With Sodom, it was a whole lot of other people, a whole city, and it wasn't his family. Sorry.
Good, very good, very good. So how does that make a difference?
So that within the family, okay, what happens, and Hashem is part of your family. But with other people, sometimes you feel a greater responsibility. You feel, as a leading person of that age, he felt a great responsibility. And Hashem had told him what he was going to do. So obviously Hashem was probably eliciting some sort of response from Abraham.
But the other side of that is that Sodom was really evil. There really wasn't very much reason to argue about Sodom because they needed to be destroyed. Whereas with with Yitzchak, there's a huge reason for arguing. I mean, Yitzchak was totally innocent. If anything, you would think that Abraham would say, I have an obligation to stand up for my midas rachamim, and to say, Hashem, how can you kill an innocent person? What's going on here?
I don't think that innocence or that applies, but I think that the reason for sacrificing, rather, I think of use the word, all right, use the word killing if you like, but the reason for sacrificing or killing Yitzhak was different from the reason for doing away with killing Sodom. Sodom was a punishment. This was not a punishment. The Kedah was not a punishment. The Kedah was actually bringing somebody, was bringing Hashem, and was bringing Yitzhak closer to Hashem. A method of bringing closer to Hashem that we wouldn't understand as much as we wouldn't understand some of the other Hokim, but like the parts, and yeah, so there are two different reasons.
Right. Okay, look, I think maybe we can continue this discussion next time. Basically, we're trying to understand what's the difference between Avram Avinu's defense of Sodom and him not defending Yitzchak. The question is, why didn't he defend Yitzchak? Whereas in the case of Sodom, he defended Sodom.
Right, and particularly focusing on this statement of Abraham's, shall the judge not do justice?
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, basically, the situation of the Kedah wasn't a case of doing justice. That there was no. I mean, superficially, there was no, as Roy pointed out, there was no nothing wrong that Avram Avinu did or Yitzchak did that necessity required that there be an Kedah. Whereas by Sodom, there was the evil that Sodom was doing that was necessitated their destruction.
Right, but I'm saying even more so, since in Sodom there was reason to do it, and yet nevertheless Abraham says, "Shall the judge not do justice?" So with Yitzchak, where there isn't a reason to do it, how much more so should he say, "Shall the judge not do justice?"
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It wasn't by the Kedah. There wasn't a question of judgment. There wasn't judgment. It wasn't a case of judgment there. Justice having to be done, right? It was a test, right? It was a test. The test was not because there was no necessity to eliminate Yitzchak, right? Meaning Sodom, there was a necessity to eliminate Sodom because of the evil that they were doing, right? And to carry out justice against them. But there was no necessity that Yitzchak be eliminated, right? The only necessity that Yitzchak be brought as an oiler was the necessity of testing Avram Avinu.
But that leaves out the whole concept of justice to Yitzchak. He's just a pawn in this. Well, you said we're going to do it. We're going to continue it. So let's continue it. I see it's late.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we can just make a note to continue this point next time on Sunday, okay? Make sure you make a note that we don't forget to go into this note a little bit more.
So
Okay, thank you.
gonna write justice here on my little marker.
Justice. All right, thank you very much, Rabbi, and thank you very much, Lou.
I welcome, right?
And
Have a
we'll
good
see you
afternoon.
tomorrow. Thank you, you too. And we'll see you when? 9:30.
9:30 tomorrow. Chumash. We'll do something on the Chumash, please, Ned.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, well, have a good
Have
day.
see you later with Rabbi Levitt.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Rick. You're welcome. Okay, we'll start the Mr. Grushi in a few minutes.